So I find, especially if I just go in there when times are like that and grab that guitar, just start wailing away on it. Nothing in particular. I find that the less I focus on, I've got to pick up this guitar and accomplish something, it kind of just brings me out of it, because, it's like doing this and getting this out of there, and then it sort of calms me, it completely calms me down. So, and then the songs come later, in more quieter, contemplative times. Anyway, my name's Barry Lamon. I live in Tucker, Georgia with my girlfriend and her dog, Roxy, and I consider myself a singer-songwriter, musician. I play bass and guitar. Also like an artist, like to do art, which I haven't done in a while, which I need to, kick myself and keep going. And I work as a maintenance tech for an assisted living facility, which is pretty cool, actually. It's like having a house full of grandmothers and grandfathers, so that's pretty nice. For me, it's I need like some time to kind of contemplate or sit. I like to sit on my porch with coffee every morning, and I spend way too much time on the iPad at that point. But I just sit in my little seat and let the dog out and get my coffee and just think about what's the days coming up, in more quieter, contemplative times. And I used to have art. I don't draw and paint as much as I used to, and I'm trying to get back into that. Or I won't say trying. I'm doing things to trying to not trying. I hate that word trying, but sketching, especially. I haven't done that in a while, and I love to cook. So especially days when I'm off, and my schedule is I'm off on Sundays and Mondays, and so my girlfriend goes to work if she's not off, and I'll spend the day once in a while. Like when I get home, I have this special dinner planned out, and big Edward Lee fan, got his cookbook out, and so I love that whole part of that too, because it's still part of the creative process, still something to you're working on something that you create. And the good side is people take a bite and they go, oh wow, this is great, so there's a little ego boost with that, and that helps sometimes. Really dear friend of mine, Margaret, she lives out in Albuquerque. Margaret, you know who you are if you see this post. She told me one day in one of my whiny posts and about music and my frustration with it, she said, everybody knows you're a rock star except you. And I found that, like, it took me a long time to accept a compliment for what it was. And Fee would always tell me, it's just say, why can't you just say thank you? Just don't worry about it. Because my whole, somebody said, I had a guy one night, and this is a great story, and I got to tell you this story. I was at a open mic night at Smith's Old Bar, and this guy before me plays this song, and it's called The River, and it's a really cool song. And most people that do this aren't performers, but they write the songs and they want to get them out there, and a lot of them are really great songs. And so I played mine. I get down, sit next to him. I said, man, I really love that song. It's great. He goes, yeah, you play guitar really well. He said, great voice. And I said, well, I'm not really a guitar player. He goes, hold on a second. He said, you're not a guitar player. I said, no, I play bass, stammering around. He said, well, if you're not a guitar player, what's that in your hand? I said, it's a guitar. He says, what were you doing with it? Playing it. He said, what's the problem? And that particular incident really kind of is one that kind of slapped me and said, it was the same thing. But for some reason, I've always had that problem too, that I would make excuses. And I think that's part of that whole, what you have up here. And, whether you want to call it low self-esteem or, and I had several periods in my life where, you felt like you couldn't do anything right. And that gets to be kind of heavy after a while. And it really weighs down on that whole, not like I think I can accomplish anything. I can if I put my mind to it, and to me, you have to know your limits and work with what you got and, be fine with it. But it's kind of tough to do.
No.
And I get really frustrated with that because I want them to, not just because I'm like, oh, Mr. Feelgood, but the idea that if there's any small thing I could say or do to help you find the direction you might need to go, or however, just get it off your chest. And I've always been fortunate to have people around me that if I needed to do that, I could call them and talk to them about it. Unfortunately, when I moved to Thailand, but I always had that, I was always fortunate to have enough people around me that I knew I could call them if I needed to. And I don't think mine ever got that bad, but it made me realize one day, if it did, who would you call? And I can name probably, a few people I would trust with that. But that's the hard part. Like, who am I going to trust with this, and how are they going to react? And so I strongly urge, find somebody to talk to is the best first step. If you're not sure what direction to go, even call a suicide hotline, even if you're not contemplating it, because I think a lot of times, or I think those people would talk to you in a heartbeat if you had no one else to turn to. This is a song I wrote called Angels Down Below. And the idea came from, I used to live over near Ansley Mall, and driving home in the traffic, you sit a lot. And I would start to kind of look at people around me that I could see. And of course, there's always somebody, someone homeless on the corner, and I'd always fish out the change and give it to them. But it made me kind of like look around at the other cars, and so the idea for this song is like these little vignettes of people that you don't know, but you might know, and you may know them, but you won't know what they're going through, or you might know what they're going through. So it's just sort of an observation about, we see like certain things about people, but there's a lot of things you don't see. So, and my mom, I'd like to think she's up there, and she's one that sees a lot of it. So. An angel on the corner showed his homeless heart. An angel checked her makeup in the mirror of her car. An angel on a playground, arms to the sky. An angel with a jagged tear in the corner of her eye. An angel prays alone on a pew. An angel takes a sip from another cup, wet with dew. An angel kills a sleeping baby on his head. An angel holds another lover, angel in another lover's bed. Wanna see the stars, the Milky Way. Wanna see the heavens, the city got in the way. Mama, well, she always said, now she's one of those angels that watch from on high. The angels down below. below. Sings a forgotten tune. An angel thinks along then a truth. An angel laughs with the one he loves. An angel remembers an angel who flew the heavens above. Wanna see the stars, the Milky Way. Wanna see the heavens, the city got in the way. Mama, well, she always said, now she's one of those. Angel, only watch from on high. Angel.